we'll spend time on that. Today will probably be a little bit more brief. I mean, I've got some stuff for you. We'll kind of start to outline it. I want to get some questions from you guys so that I can prepare a little bit more tomorrow. And obviously, these are always voluntary, obviously, but I plan on tomorrow being a little bit longer. So if you've got some time, plan on taking a little bit more time tomorrow. Okay. So what I've done is I prepped a little bit on some basics for Facebook organic and ads, but I'm going to talk more tomorrow on organic reach. Maria, I'll have it recorded. And there's going to be a lot of slides, and there's the off chance that it may flow into Monday, depending on how the day goes. Okay. On how everybody is. Does that sound okay with everybody? We good there? Yes. Good. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let me pull this up. Let me go back up here. A minute. V, do me a favor, because I'm going to be sharing my screen. Just keep an eye on people in the waiting room and let them in as they pop on. Next few minutes, there's going to be. Deb, yeah, you can get the Google Drive for the recordings. Yesterday's and today's are going to get added on. Let me pop this up. All right. So yesterday we talked a little bit about just kind of social media overall. Here's a couple of numbers from overall social media. Okay. And this is, it's always mind boggling to me how active people really are. Okay. You've got 3.5 billion people that are active on social media, which equates out to nearly 46% of the total population are on social media. Okay. 46%. The total number of active social users, on mobile devices, 3.46 billion. So obviously a huge percentage are on mobile. That doesn't necessarily mean that all of them are by any stretch, right? Or that's the only way that they use it. However, digital is the preferred method for people. Okay. So, and guys, do me a favor. If you've got a phone, like whoever just wrote, hi everyone, the Galaxy A5 2017, if you could message V, let us know who the names are, because occasionally if I send out the slides and stuff for this, I've got to have your name. If all we have is a phone number, or, like sometimes it pops up like that Galaxy or iPhone, we don't have any way of getting you the information. So before I dive in a little bit more into Facebook and things, does anybody have questions on what we went over yesterday? We talked a little bit about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Andrew?
Yes.
Can you mute someone who has a scratching noise coming out?
I don't know if it's me. Guys, if let's see. If you're not mute, please mute yourselves. All right. Lynn, can you use these slides for posts? I mean, if you want to use, like the graphic, you mean, Lynn? Is that what you're talking about? The stats? Yeah, stats like that are always great, especially if you're dealing with internet marketers, network marketers, affiliate marketers, online marketers, stuff like that. Absolutely. I would find a way to personalize it some. Okay. Again, whoever wrote that from the Galaxy A5, we don't have a name for you. You should have your login. It's probably in your spam. Also, get a hold of your accountability rep. Also, you got your welcome call and other information you can get there. Okay. You can message V your name. V is my assistant that's on the call, guys. If you guys have any questions along those lines, message her directly so that we can kind of keep focused. Okay. I'm going to say that for everybody. All right. So yeah, V for Vendetta. Okay. Any questions? So yesterday we talked about Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a little bit about TikTok, social media overall, kind of general ideas of what's there, who that audience is, and everything else. So does anybody have any questions over what we went over yesterday? Yes, no, or are we good? All right. So here's what we're doing, guys. For some of you guys joining late, what we're doing, I had said I was going to do LinkedIn tomorrow. I'm not going to. We're going to do some Facebook today and tomorrow, mostly geared just Facebook general information so you can get some ideas. So if you have questions about it. Now, I'm not going to get in depth on these calls about your ad campaigns. I may do some this next week in general, but so much of that is dependent on your audience and a number of other factors. And if you've already started and the results aren't there, there's a lot of different ways to go, but you can message me directly if there's something like that. So, okay. All right. Now we're moving in. Here's overall generalization there. Now we've got organic reach is kind of what I want to talk about. A little bit about organic, a little bit about paid. So just to understand what organic reach is, because I talk about that a lot. I say, hey, here's, you've got your paid, you've got organic. Organic reach is the number of people who see your content without you paying for it. So people that see your posts in their feed or because their friends have interacted with you. So occasionally, if I post something, if Paul interacts with that, or if he comments on it, if he shares it, and then his audience, his friends and family or whatever see that post that he shared of mine, that's still considered my organic reach, right? Paid reach is the people that see the content because I've paid for it, right? My ad targeting options. Now, I write up here that it can also impact organic reach. How can paid reach impact my organic reach? What do you guys think? Chat with me.
Because when people do come from the paid leads and they get interacted with you on your Facebook page, and that's how they learn where you are and all that, and then you can attract. Maybe they're not going to buy first time, but you can attract them later on, and their friends also you're going to attract.
Yep, absolutely. So there's a number of different factors, obviously. People that are now watching, they end up liking it, and then maybe the organic reaches them later. They share something that you like. So paid reach is targeted. Organic is what you put out there. Now, there are two major reasons Facebook organic reach is declining. Okay, because that's the reality. Now, some of you guys have said, yeah, their friends see what you interact with on. Absolutely. Some people have said, well, I don't want to pay for ads. I'm only going to do this organically. Okay, that's fine. But you've got to then understand how your goals, how you're going to achieve your goals, how long it's going to take. It is going to take more time. Facebook does limit a little bit. And there's a couple of reasons. First one, there's more content being published than there's space, right? I mean, that kind of makes sense. If I've got on a personal page, if I have 2,000 friends plus groups plus pages that I've liked, how many posts can I possibly see? Right? So the 510,000 comments, statuses, all like that's just worldwide. That's what's going on. But understanding how much is happening is important when you're thinking, oh, I'm going to reach everybody organically. Next is what they do is they look at your users and they look at the relevant content, right? Because what they want to do is increase engagement. Because if Facebook can increase engagement with posts, it means people spend more time. It means they like, they enjoy their experience a little bit more, and then it helps them in turn, Facebook, to optimize the experience so they can tailor it even more to do that later on. So what's the difference? Okay. What's the difference between paid and organic? Is that what you're asking, Maria? Paid is I can go in and I can run an ad and I can put it in front of, 100,000 people in the next 24 hours if I want to. And I'm just paying Facebook because I'm putting it in front of a very specific audience. I'm telling Facebook, I want to put it in front of, 25 to 54-year-old men and women who are, online marketers. And I decide that they're online marketers because I've done my target audience research and I've said, online marketers are typically going to identify as online marketers, internet marketers, digital entrepreneurs. They like Gary Vaynerchuk, they like Brendan Burchard, they like ClickFunnels, they like this, they like that. They're going to like this page. Like I create an audience and I say, here's how many I want. And Facebook goes, okay, well, your overall reach is probably going to be 15,000 a day. And I go, okay, great. So I'm going to increase how much I spend. And they go, all right, well, now you'll reach 30,000. Okay, great. So that's what I want to do. I want to do that for the next 3 days. And they're going to put it in front of that audience, right? Whereas on the organic side, are the ads just our organic materials or something professionally done? That's up to you. You can, yeah. So organic is going to reach not just your circle. Organic just means who sees your posts based on who's already a friend on your personal page or who likes your business page, right? Because I can only run ads for my business page. And then I need people to already like my page for them to see it, right? Like, so if I've got a business page and you guys haven't liked it, no one's going to see it, right? So if nobody's seeing my business page to begin with, what can I do? I can run an ad campaign for engagement, for likes, so I can start to introduce myself. I can be active inside of different groups, and I'll get into certain strategies. Right now, I'm kind of talking about overall what it is, how it works, right? So we'll get into some specific strategies tomorrow and maybe Monday, depending on tomorrow. So the ads, Kim, you either use the templates we've got, you create your own, or you get some done. It just depends, right? But if your ad sucks, you only have on Facebook, on the news feed, you only have about 1.5 seconds, guys, to capture someone's attention. That's why learning how to write marketing copy, or if you're going to do a video, having a video that grabs someone's attention. Like, I don't know if anybody's seen some of Blake's videos recently. He had the one where he's like sitting in the pool and he falls off into the pool, right? Like, and people go, what is that? Or him running around downtown Orlando, because, oh my gosh, that's something that's really, what the hell is this guy doing? Right? Yeah. So Lynn, I'll get to that. But typically once you have the algorithm kind of worked in where Facebook understands who your audience is, then it doesn't necessarily take that long necessarily, which means sometimes it can. There's always, people expect there to be hard and fast rules. There aren't. It modifies. That's why, we talk about, I always say actively passive. This isn't 100% passive. There's still a little bit of work you have to do. And part of that is checking out your ads and what's going on and how they're responding, after they launch, right? But launching it and looking at it in 24 hours and going, oh, that's a stinker. Most of the time, you're not going to be able to tell in the first, 12, 18, 24 hours, most of the time, unless there's just no engagement at all on there. Like if there's no engagement, then either your targeting is way off or your ad really does suck. Right? So, okay. Again, I'll get into some specifics on what you can do tomorrow. Right now, we're just kind of talking about overall. Okay? So, there's a lot of factors that go into what happens on the newsfeed. A lot of them. Who you interact with, the type of media that you interact with, which means, are you interacting with posts that are written out, with memes, with pictures, with videos, with long videos, right? All of those things play into it. Okay. And then Facebook prioritizes posts that spark meaningful interactions and posts from family and friends. Questions? Does that make sense? Here's a couple of things here. Couple of data points that Facebook pays attention to and why it may show up in a newsfeed. Okay. Let me see. Somebody was off mute. All right. They look at how recently the post was published. They look at how frequently the publisher posts. So if you're posting, let's say, Andrew Davis is posting every day. Every single day he's posting some content. Different times, different stuff, but he's posting every single day. Meanwhile, Dean, next name I saw on there, he's posting once a week. And then, Anthony's posting once a month. Who do you think is going to be more likely to show up in a newsfeed on a consistent basis? Andrew, not just because he's posting regularly, but because Facebook says, hey, this guy's always on here. We're going to prioritize his stuff anyway. Right? They pay attention to that. Then they pay attention to the number of likes, comments, and shares on the post. So they pay attention to whether or not your post is engaging or if it just, nobody's interacting with it.
So this is posting on your personal page or on your business
Both.
page?
All of it.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you pay
this
post
is how
on
they
the business page?
You can just post it. It's right there. Create a post. Go to your business page. It's right there.
Okay. To look for it.
Yeah. I can't pull it up right now, but I'll show you guys. But yeah, you can post. Because then when you're running an ad, you can run an ad, you can create the ad inside the ad manager, or you can run an ad with an existing post. You could do both. Right? So I can create a post and then I can say, hey, I want to increase engagement on this, and I can run an engagement campaign. Right? So they pay attention to, like, if Andrew's posting every day though, and if I only interact, if I never like or comment on his posts, they're going to start showing it to me less. So I want to create stuff that's engaging, and I want to ask. That's why you see people that when they, how many of you guys have seen those posts, whether it's a picture or whatever, and it says, click like for this person and comment for this one. How many of you guys have seen those on Instagram or Facebook? Yes, no? Man, you guys, we need to get more active on social media. All right, some of you have seen it. The whole purpose of, Instagram more often. So Facebook, though, where they, excuse me. The reason that they do that is because what happens is as you start to do that, you comment, you like, not only does it boost their post, it boosts their engagement. It'll put it in front of extra people, but it also will get their stuff in front of you more frequently. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Engagements make a difference. Past user interaction with the same type of post, negative feedback, they'll start to lower it. And then how useful the post is, which is crazy because they then, like, the algorithm will look at what's there. They look at people rating it on the business, like all of that, the way it works, all of that's there. So a couple of things that you want to avoid. First, you can automate a lot, but you don't want to automate every single thing. You do need occasionally real comments. And what that means is, sometimes you change up the time. You don't want to post necessarily at the exact same time every day. Maybe you do, but occasionally change it up, right? If, and part of that will be based on your audience. There are apps that you can use to see when you should post.
Andrew, quick question for
Yes.
you. On the previous slide, there is the last line was a negative post. Now, if there's a negative post, can you remove that, or do you have a control on it?
You can remove a post. Yeah, you can delete a post.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't want to delete it. If you have one person that comments negatively, you don't necessarily want to right away jump and say, and delete the comment or block the person, right? Interact with them. See what's going on. See if you can turn them around.
I had insurance. It's a good one. I have an insurance ad running, and somebody did some negative comment and post some nude pictures, and that went viral, man. I got so many leads out of that.
Well, maybe you delete the nude pictures, but you get a ton of comments, and then they're interacting, right, guys? It's all about the interaction. Look at politics. Why is social media such a powerful thing for politics, guys? I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. Talk to me about looking at what I just showed you on looking at this list. Let me pull this back up. Okay, this is how Facebook rates, for newsfeed stuff, right? So why are political ads so effective? Everybody's shaking their head. Really?
Ability to engage.
No idea.
Because of engagement? That's a huge part of it. Yeah. Keeps the conversation going. Yeah. Likes, dislikes, comments, people going back and forth. You know, they call them keyboard warriors. Exactly. It's engagement. It's polarizing in effect, right? Yeah. No news. Bad news can be good in a lot of ways, right? It's simply because the engagement, they understand their audience, and then they get the audience fired up. You guys, if you can select a niche, you know, with a type of audience that is active, right? Some of these, some of the professional niches are very passionate about the niche that they're in, right? And the more passionate they're at, and like asking them questions. So I did some of those trainings a little while back, and we'll probably do another one when we looked at target audience and then branding to direct response, questions to ask to get those people engaged. The more you can get your audience engaged, the better your post will do, the more you'll reach, like the more you'll connect with them, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. So yeah, controversy, you know, we don't necessarily want to step into controversy, but why not create a blog post that says, you know, the top 5 myths that you've heard, you know, about your industry, right? Top 5 myths that homeowners believe about plumbers or insurance or financial advisors, right? Like if you're marketing it all to insurance, financial advisors, or anybody in the financial district area right now, or even digital side, like if that's your niche, even if you guys haven't fully launched, you should have a page set up. You should be posting on your page and on your other page. Create some stuff about what's happening right now with Robinhood and Wall Street and GameStop. Has everybody heard about that? I was talking about it on on our business strategy call last night with a few guys. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? What's happening? Yes, no? All right, real quick. I'm going to remove my spotlight here. All right. So what's happening? Because this, guys, it plays into the fact that you're out marketing. And this is the exact type of thing that if you had any type of, hell, I would do it almost in any business right now, because it's so relevant. And I don't care where you're at in the world. But obviously, you have Wall Street and you have mutual funds and you have all of these brokerages that do the trading, right? Well, Robinhood is an app that is supposed to allow everyday people to trade on Wall Street. And there's a number of other apps like that. Well, what happened is a guy up in Wall Street, Andrew Luft, someone can correct me if you want. But a gentleman that's, a broker said, hey, GameStop is a video game store here in the United States, right? He said, I don't think it's going to do well. The stock's going down. Be careful, that kind of thing. Well, that got out to everyday Joes, all of us, and on Reddit and on some other places. So Wall Street Bets is there on Reddit. And what happened is all of these guys said, no, we love GameStop. Screw you. We're not going to let this stock die. And so they started buying. Wall Street had shorted it, saying that the stock was going down. Everyone started buying it. The stock has skyrocketed. It's up, I don't know, 100, 300, 400, 500% or something crazy, absolutely bonkers. And it's like people are freaking out. Wall Street's been freaking out. Just go on social media, look up Robinhood, look up exactly what's there. Robinhood, Wall Street, everything else, right? GameStop. Just look up what's happening with GameStop right now, and you'll see it, because it's a crazy story, and I like it in a lot of ways, because it's all of us showing, hey, that there's this possibility that you can go out and you can market, you can do this, you can do that, and there's Denise, thanks. It was $10 in September. It's now $380 or $420 or something, right? So what's happened though is all of these regular people have started to buy it. All the fund managers have lost money because they bet against it. It's now up here. Robinhood stopped. Yeah. Robinhood just suspended trading on GameStop, AMC, and a couple of others. They said, we're not going to let you trade that anymore. Now it's going to turn into some fun, because they're almost, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Robinhood, because their whole thing is like, we make this available for everyone. If they take that away, is it against their terms of service? Like there's all sorts of different stuff that can happen with this. And the point of this is like, that's the type of post that you put up there. That's why paying attention to what's happening in the world is important, because I don't care what you're in, right? Even if you're in healthcare, if you post something like, have you heard about, the David and Goliath that's happening on Wall Street right now? How could this affect health insurance down the road? Like start a conversation is my point, right? That's what it's about. Find things that allow you to start a conversation with your audience. Okay. So leverage current events. Exactly.
And when you do start the conversation, would you post the link below?
Maybe.
For your advertisement?
Maybe.
Okay.
Not necessarily. So I'm getting there. Don't automate everything in your social platform. I just said, don't just promote products and services. Facebook is based on interest, not intent. Not every update you send out on your Facebook page should be promotional. 80% of your updates should be social, right? With a specific strategy. So even if I'm posting something that's social, I'm doing it to create engagement. I'm doing them to get them to come back. I'm doing it to get them to like or comment or follow or do something so that they stay with me, right? If I'm going to post, and then you've got your ads running, you've got occasionally a post that says, hey, by the way, if you want to know how to do X, Y, Z, right? Check this out. Absolutely. But not every single post should be advertising. Who's commenting? Many words are not allowed to say anymore, inciting people. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Instead of just promoting, you want to use it to build a community. Add value, start conversations. So here's a couple of different types of content. Brand story. So on brand, on point. Authority building. Why you're, credible. Ways to nurture the leads. So promising content for them. And then occasionally personal stuff. So whether that's, look at my team, it's look at me, it's look at my family, look at my business, whatever, there should be something personal occasionally in there. The lines between personal and professional have become blurred, and we've got to understand that. Okay. All right. Don't build a fan base you can't sustain, and simply, you may get yourself to 200, 300, 400,000 followers, and all that's great. But if your engagement sucks, and if no one's buying anything, right? And along those lines, don't go out and buy leads. Don't buy clicks. Don't buy likes. Don't buy follows. That doesn't do you any good. All right. You'll see as you get into marketing, you'll get dean both. I would say both business and personal. I would do it on both. That's me. I know some of you guys don't want to do anything on your personal. Okay, that's fine. I would do both. Very much of the opinion, like the world that we live in now, the line between personal and professional has been blurred. So much of it is together. Dean, we could talk on a strategy session. I don't know if you've had a strategy session yet. There's almost always a way to connect them. There's always a way to do it. I think, guys, part of what you should be doing with the partner program is building yourself as the brand. And then with that, you can find a way to connect with different audiences, right? And then if you need to add a different page, then you can, if it's a totally different audience. I'm always of the opinion, if I'm running multiple businesses, I like them to have some type of overlap personally, because if they overlap, then I can get customers both ways. Or maybe I got someone that starts following me over here, right? But they move over here. An example that I used last night on a call, right, was one of the individuals works a lot with people in the financial sector. And so we were talking about other niches. Well, how many people that started out as like a CPA get into finance, or that started in finance get into insurance, or started insurance go to finance? Like there's always this, intermingling of all of those things. So I like building a business that's going to have some type of overlap personally, because then I have opportunities to monetize more than once. So why not? As long as I'm still providing value and my products will work for them, then I want them to keep buying from me, right? Instead of having to create a whole brand new audience and trying to figure out everything else. And part of that just depends on where you want to scale. So there's all sorts of different, I mean, it goes to when you look at millionaires have 7 forms of income, most of them start with one main one that they build up and they do really well with. And then once they've gotten to that point, the next one that they add, like most of them don't do construction and build up a construction business and then open a beauty parlor, right? They may manage the real estate, but they're not going to, all of a sudden become an esthetician, right? So now the esthetician may become a beauty parlor or salon owner, and then they buy the real estate, but they're doing that because they have that business in there. And then, so there's like a lot of times, you be smart in the additional businesses and the additional marketing and everything else, because instead of me having to figure out how to market to 5 different niches that have nothing to do with each other, make it easy on yourself and on your team. If you've got a team, keep it close together. Right. So guys, today is a basic review. Facebook, a little bit about the newsfeed, how it works and how Facebook starts to mine for the data. Tomorrow, we'll get into a handful of specific strategies that you can do to increase your organic reach, with the understanding for everybody. Organic means I'm not necessarily paying for it, but it takes more time to increase organic, right? Organic is great. You should never do just one, because your paid account, they may change the algorithm and then your ads are going to suffer for a little bit till you get it figured out, or whatever happens, there's a misunderstanding, you get an ad account shut down. If you don't have any organic reach, it's going to hurt your business. There's some guys that I worked with that have been doing really well with affiliate marketing for a number of years. They were doing 30, 35 mil a year, but they got some ad accounts shut down. And then the people they were buying ads from or, leads from, they got theirs shut down. And they had zero organic growth. And they went from monthly, where were they at? 3 to 4 mil a month to, a few 100,000, which doesn't suck. Don't get me wrong. But by that time they had built an organization, they had employees. And when you cut your income by 90%, all of a sudden you go, well, damn, we should make some changes, right? So they made some changes. We came in, we did a lot of work on the organic side, on the page and groups and other things, so that they slowly built it back up. But organic takes more time, right? But you've got to have a balanced approach. Tomorrow, we're going to get a little bit more into the organic reach. Hopefully you guys are here. I got follow-ups with a lot of you guys throughout the rest of this day. So hopefully I'll talk to you soon. On that note, have an amazing day, guys. We'll talk to you soon. If you've got specific questions about organic growth, send them to me so I can try and address them tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.